Hello everyone and welcome back to 27 Fox Place. I have a little bit of a clean and refresh for you today. We had a few days of beautiful weather this week, so I had to find any excuse to get outside. So even though we had rain coming in our way in just a few days, I had to uncover the furniture and clean up so that I could get outside and soak it up for as long as I could. We cover up the furniture whenever there's rain in the forecast, and we usually leave them covered up unless it warms up enough to take them off. We store all of the pillows underneath the covers to keep them dry, but it doesn't keep them clean. The wind can still blow dust and leaves up underneath, so I need to give them all a quick shake when I put them back. I like to use the blower on the cushions to clean them off, but anytime we have to cover things up out here, there's always a possibility that some uninvited guest will move in, so a good shake helps to clear out any unwanted residents.
Standing underneath the lights, looking into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground.
I picked up a few annuals at the beginning of the year that I need to get potted out here, but I wanted to clean out the pots first. There's a few plants that didn't make it, so I wanted to clear them out and clean up any spent blooms. It's been pretty warm this year for the most part, so we still have lots of flowers in bloom. We had a few nights that dropped into the low 30s, but it hasn't caused a lot of damage to the plants out here.
For you and me, let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night, time is running out of sight. Passing by, tries to carry all whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk.
I bought some pansies just before the new year, but the weather turned before I had a chance to plant them. And I like to get outside and work in the yard as much as I can, but I'm more of a fair weather gardener. I only like working in the yard when it's nice enough to be outside. January started off cold and windy, and then it was followed by some much needed rain. So this has been the first time it's been nice enough, so I wanted to get them planted while I still had the chance. I had intended to repot the annuals and clean up the patio a little bit, but it was already late in the afternoon when I got started, and while I was cleaning up, I realized that there were a few nice days still left in the forecast, which meant I still had time to put my feet up, so instead of doing everything in one day, I decided it would be much better to divide things up so that I'd have an excuse to spend more time outside the next day.
Sing, won't you sing with me? Leave everything for me. Stay the night. Oh, miss your flight. Walk through the rain with me. Get soaked to the skin, feel free. Shut the world out. Let's hang out. Oh, I used to see in colors, now it's gray. Till I met you at the concert the other day. The whole room lit up with warm, sunny rays.
The next day I got started repotting what was left of the flowers that I had planted in the fall, and while I was digging a hole for the last begonia, I found one of the dahlia tubers, and it took me a minute to figure out what it was. I had expected to find tubers when I pulled up the plant, but all I saw were roots. I expected dahlia tubers to be much longer, so at first I thought my husband was playing a joke and planting potatoes, but then I remembered that I didn't find any tubers when I pulled up the dahlia idea the day before, but I did find a handful of them while I was digging up the marigolds, and I just repotted them until I can decide what I want to do with them.
Reminisce over me. Know that I will cherish your memories. Oh, I used to see in colors, now it's gray. Till I met you at the concert the other day. The whole room lit up with warm, sunny rays. Tonight we'll turn minutes into days, and nothing's gonna make me look away. Lover, friend, real or pretend.
I was hoping to plant pansies in the fall, so I wouldn't have to plant anything until the late spring, but I didn't have any luck finding them, so I ended up with marigolds instead. I didn't have a lot of luck with the annuals this year, and I think it's because the pots were getting too much water. I lost about half of the marigolds I planted out here. What was left was scattered in the pots, so I dug up what was left and grouped them together so that they wouldn't look quite so sad.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my head? Floating rivers upstream, the things that you said. Tell me and be honest. Tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter snow? Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should I've known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, to let go. They say time is a healer, just you wait and see. The problem is for me, I need an eternity. So tell me and be honest. Tell me, did you know that you would be leaving?
Pansies were just starting to dry out before I planted them, and they needed a good drink to help revive them. February is usually when we see the most rainfall, so I'm not sure if we'll see another opportunity to spend time out here this month, but at least I got the pots cleaned up for the spring.
I try my best to move on, letting go. Tell me, should I know?
Anytime I need to wash the sheets, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is strip everything off the bed so that I can get them in the washer. And I like to change the sheets every week. And when the dogs were younger, they slept on the foot of the bed, so I had to wash the blankets and duvet about once a month. But now I only need to wash them about every other month, and sometimes I wash them and put them right back on again. But today I'm swapping them out for a new look, so once I get everything in the wash, I can start making up the bed. Sheets and blankets can get tangled up in the washing machine, but for some reason, duvets like to swallow up everything that's in the washer. So it helps to untangle each piece as it goes into the washer, and I always try to remember to button up a few buttons before I load the duvet cover into the machine.
Another rainy afternoon, I don't know what I'm to do. I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house, I'm just wasted on the couch, 'cause I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stay here beside me.
I have 2 quilts and 2 duvet covers that I can mix and match to create different looks in the bedroom, and I usually like to switch things up with the seasons. I like to use a combination of blue in the fall and winter and then white in the spring and summer. Having a duvet cover has a few advantages over a comforter, and some people like to use a duvet cover in place of a top sheet. It does take more time to take the cover on and off, but it does protect the duvet so it doesn't have to be cleaned as often, and if the duvet gets stained or damaged, the insert doesn't need to be replaced, just the cover, and duvet covers don't take up a whole lot of space compared to a comforter, so it's easier to store more than one duvet cover so that I can change the look in the bedroom.
How you smile at me, wish you'd stay here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stay here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said.
It doesn't usually get cold enough to run the heat at night. If the daytime highs drop, then I'll need to run the heat for a little while in the morning just to warm the house up. The temperatures in the house can drop into the low 60s, so I wanted to add a second quilt to the foot of the bed just in case we need it. I wanted to get out the white quilt so that I could finish making up the bed while the blue one was still in the wash, and once it's clean, I'll fold it up at the foot of the bed.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
I don't have any laundry to fold this morning, but I do have a few shirts that I need to iron today. I always struggle to keep up with the ironing, and I don't have a lot that needs to be ironed, so it doesn't take a lot of time. It takes about 5 minutes for me to iron a shirt, and I usually have more than one shirt to iron, so it does take a little more time than I have in the mornings, so I always put it off until I need something to wear. And I've tried a few different ways to work ironing into my routines, but nothing seems to stick, and I finally come up with a new strategy that I wanted to try. I usually have laundry to fold at least 4 days a week, and then I have a day for bedding. That leaves 2 days when I don't have any laundry to fold, and it's always nice to have a break from laundry, but instead of taking a day off, I want to try ironing during that time instead. And I may not get all of the ironing done that week, but I'm hoping that I can become more consistent. I always rely on routines to help keep the house clean, but I still make changes from time to time. Sometimes it works for the better, and sometimes I just fall back into my original routine. I used to wash the sheets and put them right back on the bed until I realized that it was more economical to wash a larger load. Now I like to wait until I have at least 2 sets of sheets so that I don't have to wash the sheets every time I change them. That means I don't have to wash the sheets every time I change them. I'll wash 2 sets together. I can put 1 set back on the bed, but that does mean I still have an extra set of sheets to fold when I wash. I'm not sure if you could hear Ace in the background. He gets very excited when my husband leaves the house or when it's time for treats, and it sounds a little like a cross between an Indian war cry, a barking seal, and Mike Tyson. So I had to take a little break and wait for him to calm down a bit. All those little interruptions can add up and stretch things out and make it hard to get things done. Before I developed habits and routines that I use now, interruptions just added to the stress. I was always trying to catch up, and every little interruption made me feel like I was just spinning my wheels. But now I hardly notice them, and I just do my best to work around them. Of course, there are still days when the interruptions just seem to pile up, but it's becoming the exception instead of the rule.
I know I've let you down. I made the same mistake. I am the worrying kind, resting my life away. Be here, you know I really want you to stay. Later, when you then go, you will somehow still remain. Remember the time
My grandmother worked a full-time job and still did all of the cooking and cleaning, and I don't know how she managed it all by herself. She cooked every meal from scratch, and she had to hang the clothes out on a clothesline to dry. And I remember she used to spend hours at the ironing board, ironing her husband's work shirts, and even jeans and t-shirts, because I don't like to iron. I try to avoid buying clothes that need to be ironed, but I do like a crisp button-up, so there's a few things that I have that I still need to iron. There have been times when I've just sent everything out to be pressed, but that's rare. There are also times when I just don't wear things when they need to be ironed, so sometimes I think that I should just declutter them and stick to things with lower maintenance. So then I try to find a way to fit ironing into my routine, and I really only need about 10 minutes a week. Part of the reason that I put off ironing is because I always think that I need to iron everything while I have the iron out, but I may have better luck if I just break up the ironing into smaller chunks. I'm not sure why, but I'm much more likely to do 10 things that take 10 minutes each than to do one thing that takes 10 minutes. Maybe it's because it feels more productive to get more things done, even if it is the same amount of time.
this time, it is for real in another way. Will you be my only and dearest every day? So find me at the rainbow's end, and we climb right
Because I wash whites and darks separately, I have 2 loads of bedding to wash today. Depending on the day, I may not get all of the bedding folded and put away. I do try to get everything washed, but when I have more than 1 load, I usually leave the last one in the dryer to fold the next morning, and I usually wash all of the linens on the same day because it's easy and I can fold them quickly. It doesn't take a lot of time to change the sheets on the bed, and I usually do take a few minutes to wipe down the laundry room, but overall it's a very light cleaning day. I spend most of my time waiting for the bedding to wash and dry, so I should add ironing to the lineup on that day. One of the biggest reasons why I put off ironing is because I've always considered it to be an optional task instead of including it as a weekly task, so it might just turn out to be a good day to skip folding laundry so that I can iron a few shirts instead.
Give me your strength and show me your weakness.
All of the daily cleaning tasks are done for the day, and there's nothing left to do until the sheets are dry. I just need to put away the shirts, and then I can bring down a load of laundry for the next day.
Tell me your secrets, 'cause we're in this together now. Yeah, we're in this together now. No, 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 no. I'll keep you safe, I'll give you my everything. Even if we're falling down, even if we're falling down, all of me is yours, every part of me. 'Cause we're in this together.
When I pulled the bedding out of the dryer, I noticed that the duvet cover was still a touch damp, so I put it back into the dryer and let it run while I folded up the sheets. I already had a clean set of sheets in the cabinet this week, so I was able to make up the bed right away. Normally, I would just toss the sheets in the hamper, but I needed to wash the duvet cover, so I washed them all at the same time. But if I already had 2 sets of sheets that I needed to wash today, I wouldn't wash all of the bedding. It would take much too long to wash and fold all of the bedding before I could make the bed, so it would be much easier to wait until the following week before I change the rest of the bedding.
I'll be your light, I'll keep you from darkness. Even when the sun don't shine, even when the sun don't shine. Give me your strength, show me your weakness. 'Cause we're in this together now. You and me together now. What's the point of living if we're scared to
By the time I finished upstairs, the duvet cover was completely dry, and I still had a quilt in the washing machine, so I had to take a few minutes to fold up the duvet cover and make room for the quilt. And then, of course, once the washer was empty, I had to set it up with another load of laundry to run the next day. But that's the way the laundry goes. As one load comes out, another one goes in, and I never did make it back to put the quilt back on the bed. I got busy working and forgot all about it. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications before you go. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you next time.